Yo, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Streets Talk TV, and I'm back at you with another exclusive ass video gang. And for this video right here, we're going to be speaking about the tragic last moments of YNW Sakchasers and YNW Juvie before they were tragically killed. But first, before we dive into this video, if you're new to the channel, do your boy a solid. Go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. That way you get the updates every time I drop one of these videos. You'll be one of the first ones to be notified. Alright, since we got that out of the way, let's get back to this video. Alright, so YNW Sakchaser and YNW Juvie was part of a rap group, YNW, with most notably member YNW Melly for his biggest song, Murder on My Mind. There was a group of 4 people that grew up in Florida with the aspirations of always being rappers since they was little kids. Now, there was 4 people in this group. There's YNW Melly, YNW Portland, Sakchaser, and Juvie. And they all was tight-knit group from the outside looking in. It looked like everything was going good for them. It looked like they was, brothers. They looked like they was the bestest friends. It looked like they had everything going on and they were shooting to superstardom. Well, Melly was anyways. Well, on a tragic night of October the 26th, YNW Sakchaser and Juvie tragically lost their life. But rewinding that, I bet you waking up that morning that they didn't think it was going to be the last day on this earth. Waking up that morning, they didn't think it was going to be the last day that they smoked a blunt with their homies or told their mama they loved them. They didn't think it was going to be like that, but it tragically was. And the prosecution is actually saying YNW Melly, this was all premeditated, and he actually planned this out. The Broward prosecutors are looking to put the death penalty on YNW Melly again for the second time. The first time, it was kicked out because they're saying the prosecution failed to notify them within 45 days with the intent to give them the death penalty. They threw it out, but they just reinstated it again. So they're trying to seek the death penalty just for the harsh intent of this crime. The once rising star, whose real name is Jamel Demons, committed premeditated murder in a cold and calculated manner for financial gain, according to the Broward State Attorney's Office. So they're going to really try to put it to him just for...
This Florida rapper YNW Melly, as well as another man, are being held here at the Broward County Jail this morning. They are each charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, and they're also accused of, as you said, staging this crime scene to appear as though it was a drive-by shooting.
The reason they're saying, man, this heinous crime right here, a person that can really do this to somebody doesn't need to be walking this earth. So this is basically what they're saying. But YNW Melly and YNW Portland are both charged with first-degree murder. They're both being charged with the killings of their friends. But they have a totally different story. And we're going to get to their side of the story first and tell what they said happened. And then we'll get to the prosecution side of the story and basically explain what they're saying happened. So YNW Melly is basically saying, YNW Melly, the whole gang, they was at a recording studio called New Era Recording Studio. They went there, around 10:30 that night, stayed about 4 something in the morning. That's normal for people, rap artists, to go to a studio and stay that late. And they said while leaving the studio, they got into a Jeep Compass and they left the recording studio. They said while leaving the recording studio, YNW Melly had actually got out of the car and got in the car with one of his other friends and left the scene. So it would be YNW Portland driving, YNW Sakchaser in the passenger seat, and YNW Juvie in the back right passenger seat. And what their story is that a drive-by shooting came up. Somebody came up on the right side of the car, drive by the car, shot it up a bunch of times, and killed, Sakchaser and Juvie. After they shot up the car, they're saying Portland drove the vehicle to the hospital where his 2 friends were pronounced dead. And so they're basically saying, the car got in the drive-by. Some people were hating on them. They shot the car up and killed their 2 homies. That's the story that both of them are sticking to. What the prosecution is saying is a little bit different. Now, see, the prosecution, they got to realize the prosecution, when a high-profile case like this is going on, and especially when they think foul play is involved, they're going to really try and push the envelope, spend that money. Whatever they got to do with forensics and stuff's involved, they're going to spend that money and try to get it done. And that's basically what they did with this case right here. And that's why it's been going on so long. They went and got video evidence from the recording studio. They went and got video evidence from the hospital. They can tell all kind of things. And one of the main things they pointed out was YNW Bortland had blood splatter on the front of his shirt and on the back of his shirt. They saying that he was trying to cover it up with a hoodie, with a black hoodie. They said whenever he left the recording studio, he was wearing a black shirt. But whenever he went to the hospital to drop off his friends, he was wearing a black hoodie. Whenever they got the shirt and examined it, it had blood splatter on the front of it and on the back of it that would reconcile with YNW Melly actually killing his two friends from inside the vehicle. But it gets more than that. YNW Melly was trying to say that he wasn't even in the vehicle when it happened. Well, the prosecutors went and got cell phone records from T-Mobile, and it actually reads this. The same cell phone records show the cell phones of Demons and Williams moving around the area west of I-75 and Pembroke Pines at 4:25 hours prior to entering the hospital at 4:35 hours. So what they're basically saying right there is YNW Melly's phone is pinging 10 minutes before they go to the hospital. So he's saying he wasn't in the car with him at the time of the shooting, but 10 minutes before, his phone is pinging with him. The records of Demons also indicated departure from the vehicle at 4:32 hours. Video evidence shows Henry arriving at the hospital with Thomas and Williams, but without Demons. According to the CDR of Demons' cell phone, he separated from the cell phone belonging to Williams around 4:32 hours. This was according to the records provided by T-Mobile via a search warrant issued to reference to this case. Evidence shows that Henry and Demons drove around for a period of time with the two dead victims in their vehicle prior to entering the hospital. This was in a calculated effort to establish their version of the incident in an attempt to deceive law enforcement. So they're basically saying YNW Bortland and YNW Melly, after they committed the murder, they drove around with him in the car for a minute trying to get their stories right before they said, all right, man, let me out. He probably called his people. His people came and picked him up. And then he was like, all right, Bortland, now you take him to the hospital. Then Bortland drove him to the hospital. Like I said, they were pronounced dead. So the prosecution went and get all these phone records. They getting these surveillance footages. And you know what I mean? But that's not all what they did. See, like I said, YNW Melly saying, they got shot up by a drive-by, and that's what killed everybody. But YNW Melly or, Bortland was neither hit. They went and got the damn forensics. They went and got string, and they went and got some trajectory poles, and they really went to work trying to find, exactly how these bullets went into this vehicle. And by the trajectory points, they can tell that it's not what killed these people. See, these people, Sakchaser and Juvie, they were shot from the left to the right. If they would have got shot from the right side of the vehicle, their protruding wounds would have been from the right to the left. See, they can lie to these people, but they can't lie about forensics. You get what I'm saying? Women lie, men lie, but numbers don't lie. And they also, and I want to point out one thing. YNW Melly, he did a real good job about getting all the shell casings out of the vehicle, except for he left one inside of the vehicle that was inside of a plastic bag that was on YNW Melly's side of the car. See, all the evidence was collected and placed in evidence. It should be noted that one single .40 caliber shell casing, Blazer Smith & Wesson, was found inside of the vehicle on the floorboard of the left rear passenger side. It was found inside a white plastic bag on the floorboard. This was the seat that was utilized by Demons as observed on video. Now, that shell casing compared to the shell casings that was recovered from the crime scene on Pembroke Road, that's the same shell casings that match up to the ones that was found inside of the vehicle. So that right there tells you that the same shells that was found, supposed to be from the drive-by, on the outside of the vehicle was found on Melly's side of the car inside of the vehicle. How does that happen? I don't know. But some stuff right there ain't, you get what I'm saying? Some stuff ain't adding up. But the most evidence that really contradicts what they said is, besides the shell casing getting found in there, is the trajectory of the bullets, guys. The trajectory of the bullets shows more than anything that they didn't get killed from the outside of the vehicle. They were killed from the inside of the vehicle. You get what I'm saying? And the autopsy even shows that. It can show, see, you got people that's calculated with murders and stuff, man. You can tell about how far a person gets shot with a gun. If you ride up on a person and you shoot somebody, you can tell if you ride up on a person or you 50 yards away. You can tell by the damage, how it enters the body, from all that stuff right there, man. People that's really into forensics and really they do that shit for their job, they can tell all this stuff, man. So you can't treat these people like this. You really got to be on your A game, man. And that's really why it's so hard to get away with crimes now. From all the camera footage, from all the forensics and stuff, you basically got to be like Houdini to get away with some shit these days, man. But it's not really looking good for them. They've been in jail for it's going on 3-4 years now. And they charged with first degree murder. YNW Portland and YNW Melly. It said this was done over financial gain. Some rumors are, they were beefing. They talked junk about YNW Melly's mama, called her a bitch or called her a hoe or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, whatever the problem was, it could have been talked about. It could have been sorted out. No way, no how these people should have lost their life so tragically as this with people they trusted with their life. You get what I'm saying? You can't hardly trust your brothers and stuff no more these days, guys.